deck is Gabe Gruba and Logan Jacob. In the hall, Hyatt Ursing, Colton Vetter.
All right, looks like we did have a hiccup, so thanks for the heads up out there in streaming land. So I must have had our stream hung up sitting here talking to myself. We're down to our 5th prelim tonight, so things set back up between the Broncos and the South Border Mustangs.
Winner by decision, Jace Gable.
All right, still working through our prelims for the night.
Now wrestling, Gabe Gruba, Logan Jacob. On deck, Hyatt Ursing, Colton Vetter. On deck.
We had a kind of a hard start here with our broadcast. You're watching YourLiveEvent.com, another prelim match. We're looking at our prelim match between Gabe Gruba and Logan Jacob. So Gabe Gruba for Lisbon Broncos currently on top. He's up 2-0 at 33-second mark of our first period. And Gabe Gruba kind of stops the bleeding in the prelim match for the Broncos, wins by fall.
Gabe Gruba.
And we get Hyatt Ursink wrestling Colton Vetter. So Colton, a 7th grader for South Border.
Now wrestling for Lisbon, Hyatt Ursing. For South Border, Colton Vetter. On deck, Brock Lyons, Taylor Meyer. On deck.
Ursink goes for that headlock right away against Vetter. Vetter cartwheels out of using athleticism. Cartwheels out of that headlock attempt by Ursink. This is their prelim. We did have 11 prelims scheduled for before the duel tonight. We're on number 7 between Hyatt Ursink and Colton Vetter here. You're watching YourLiveEvent.com. Sports announcer guy Brent Dick along with our camera girl tonight, Kira Mouse. We will have one post-lim, so after a duel, we'll have a post-lim match between Amos Romerman and Joseph Keller. The Vetters up by a score of 4-1 over Ursink. They're working a crossface on the far side of the match. Staying in good position, hips behind, staying behind the elbows of Ursink. It hit a tilt, rolls through as a chicken wing hooked up just as time expires in that first period. So we're going to step away, take a word from our sponsors, come back with our Ira Insurance pregame show. You're watching YourLiveEvent.com.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hey, welcome back. Prelim match is going on. Ursink has a Vetter in a headlock, but Ursink kind of high up over the top on Vetter. He's up by a score of 5-1. During that second period, down to 20 seconds. Vetter pulls out backdoor, picks up 2-point reversal. He's up 7-1. So going through our Ira Insurance pregame show, you get the insurance protection that you want with the customer service you deserve at Ira Insurance. They cover it all from home, auto, crop, commercial, and benefits insurance. Go to IRAinsurance.com to get a free quote. They thank Ira Insurance for sponsoring your broadcasts of our high school athletics, and especially tonight's broadcast featured duel tonight between the Southport Mustangs and Lisbon Broncos, two of the top teams on the east side of the state. North Dakota Class B Wrestling. Broncos with a 2-0 record, 7-3 in duels. First half of the season, Southport Mustangs 2-0 in the east or in the southeast region, and then 4-0 overall in duels before the Christmas break. The Broncos starting their season on the 21st of November, picking up a couple dual victories, picking up 3 dual victories on the 21st, and then the 30th of November they traveled up to Grafton, defeated the Grafton Wolves by a score, the Grafton Spoilers by a score of 66-9, then defeated Pembina County North Grizzlies by a score of 54-22. Came back with that rivalry against the Oaks Tornadoes here in Bronco Gymnasium, won 34-30. Traveled on the first and second to the Dan Unruh tournament, finishing in second place. Came back for a pair of duels, or back up to Wahpeton for duels on the 7th of December, defeating the Breck Wap Storm by a score of 52-18, Valley City Highlanders by a score of 52-21. Following weekend, they're at the Al Larson up in Carrington. Matt Lyons, the ever faithful and reliable bus driver for the Broncos, got him up there in time for the tournament. They ended up taking the championship, scoring 212.5 points for their first tournament championship of the season. Then they came back on the 14th of December, traveled to Frazee and out in the Hornets' Nest in Frazee, Minnesota. They dropped a couple of duels out there, 36-28 to DGF, and then the Frazee going down 33-31. Broncos will see Frazee later on, or we'll see him again at the Central Cass Letterman's tournament. Then on the 16th of December, Broncos are active in the Valley City Holiday Tournament, kind of limped into that one with some sick wrestlers and injuries. Scored 148 points, good enough for 5th place. Came back before the Christmas holiday, picked up a victory over the Carrington Cardinals up in Cardinal country by a score of 54-21, and then dropped the duel 28-41 to the Velva Aggies. That duel could play into some of the seedings, kind of depends on how things shake out here tonight between the Mustangs and the Broncos, but may play into the seedings later on for the state tournament or dual team tournament. Just depends on which teams qualify here out of the southeast region at the end of the year. Your Southport Mustangs coming into this duel with score of 2, or with their dual record East Region or Southeast Region dual record of 2-0, sitting at 4-0 overall. Just opened up their season on the 30th of November with 2 dual victories, winning 45-19 over Kildare, and then defeated the Lions, the Lytton HMB, by a score of 77-0. First and second December, they wrestled in the annual Mandan Invite. Tough tournament for any team that goes out there. And they finished in 6th place with 186 points. Also had a split squad. Just forgot to write that one down where the split squad went to, but I know they had a number of high finishers and scored a lot of points there, so they do have some depth on the South Border side. Came back on the 7th of December. They wrestled Oaks, and South Border defeated the Tornadoes by a score of 47-15. Wrestled the one of the East Region favorites in Class A, the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs. They defeated the Mustangs 36-29. That's on the Class A side. So South Border picking up a Class A victory over Class A West Fargo Cheyenne 36-29. They wrestled the Lit Holiday tournament, kind of obliterated the competition there, picking up 244.5 points. Nearest in second place was 92 points behind, and that was on the 15th and 16th of December. Both teams idle over the holiday break, and they will see action again tomorrow and Saturday at the Letterman's Tournament. Letterman's Tournament Day 1 starts at 3 p.m. tomorrow, and then Day 2 at 9:30. That's up at Castleton High School. And then Lisbon comes back. Going back to the Lisbon schedule, they come back for a triangular. They wrestle Kindred and Napoleon on the 9th of January, and then South Border Mustangs active on the 11th of January, where they wrestle EEK, or travel to EEK for a duel, boys and girls duel. At the Broncos, as far as their depth and some of their returning state qualifiers, they do bring back 7 state qualifiers from last year, with 4 of those being state place winners. They bring back Grayson Lyons, Noah Anderson, Cashton Wadeson, Griffin Greenlee, Mike Nelson, Blaze Ranke, and Drew Anderson. Mike Nelson, Greenlee, and Ranke, along with Noah Anderson, all returning state place winners. Noah Anderson placed second at 120 pounds. Griffin Greenlee 7th at 126. Mike Nelson 3rd at 138, and Blaze Ranke state runner-up at 152 pounds. The Broncos graduated 4 seniors off their squad. They're starting seniors last year with Gabe Lyons, Grant Lyons, Bowden Greenlee, and Carden Waller. So Bowden Greenlee continuing his wrestling career, and also in attendance tonight to watch his younger brother, Griffin Greenlee, out there. He's in attendance tonight on that Lisbon side. Gym's starting to fill up across the way here. Fans getting ready for this duel between the Lisbon Broncos and the South Border Mustangs. So looking at our South Border Mustangs, as far as kind of some of their depth and returning state qualifiers and place winners from last year, they bring back Ryland Vetter, Brody Michelson, Joseph Keller, Tristan Lepp, Brody Hoffman, Riker Vetter, Carson Glazeman, Cole Stock, Jason Nitschke, Daniel Schumacher, Shane Nitschke, and Joshua Hayes. And of those, they have 7 returning state place winners. So out of those 12 state qualifiers, they bring back 7 returning state place winners, starting at 126 with Tristan Lepp from last year. 132 was Riker Vetter placing 6th. 145, Carson Glazeman placed 5th. Cole Stock was 7th at 160. Jason Nitschke placed 2nd at 170. Janu Schumacher 3rd at 195. And state champion Shane Nitschke at 220. We're just going by paper and what the both teams return. You'd have to say South Border looks like they do have a little bit more experience and depth in their lineup with the number of returning state qualifiers and state place winners from last year. The Broncos and their history and tradition of both teams coming in tonight. Broncos with 9 state championships on the individual side and 6 state dual championships. They just off a recent streak from 2017 to 2022 of individual state championships. Last year, New Salem taking the individual side of the state Class B tournament. Broncos finishing in 2nd place with 164 points. South Border not far behind in the state championship brackets. They have 4 individual state championships, putting together kind of back-to-backers in 98, 99, and then 2013 and 2014 on the individual side. And on the team side for the dual championships, they put together a run from 2011 to 14 and then picked up kind of a championship from out of nowhere in 2018. One of the sweeter ones to win for the Mustangs for their 5 state dual team championships. And they did finish in 3rd place last year on the individual side with 152 points.
Mason Birch, Lisbon Miles Wentz. On deck, Matt Schwab and Aiden Birch.
So now we're down to prelim number 9 between Miles Wentz and Mason Birch. couple of young wrestlers going at it. I think Lisbon's the starters back up into the wrestling room, taking some of their last-minute instructions. Seniors up there getting everybody squared away in the lineup. Down to our last couple prelim matches before our main duel tonight between the Broncos and the South Border Mustangs. So step away, come back for a little bit more of your Irie Insurance pregame show. This is sports announcer the guy, Brett Dick, along with our camera girl tonight, Kiera Mouse. We'll return after 30 seconds.
Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals celebrating over 40 years of service. As an experienced independent insurance agency, they have access to highly rated insurance companies and can shop around to find you an affordable solution for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. Visit them at one of their locations in Lisbon, Winter, or Rutland and get a free quote started today. For more information, go to nd-insure.com. As we jump into tax season, let's approach it with the same enthusiasm as your favorite sports teams. Olson Accounting dribbles through piles of paperwork and pins down deductions like a pro. They aim to come out on top and stick a refund. Tax season is about strategy and teamwork. Olson Accounting trains to be the best in class. Let Olson Accounting set up your tax plan and eliminate any problems by visiting colsoncpa.com or call 701-683-2700. Olson Accounting of Lisbon.
Hey, welcome back. You're liveevent.com. You're live from Lisbon High School Gymnasium, North Dakota Class B Wrestling here on the east side of the state. And Matt Schwab, a head and arm. He hip tops his Birch over to his back, picks up a couple near fall. Schwab hails from south of Angleville, North Dakota. Out in God's country. He's up 4-0, so down to 45 seconds here in the first period. Madden, part of a talented 8th grade class for the Broncos. Saw some varsity action this year. Big shoes up there. Wrestling up at 172 pounds. Got his cradle hooked up far side of the mat over in the swamp on the south border side. Looks like we'll start the duel tonight at 107 pounds. Try to get the lineups here for this duel. But looks like for south border, 107 now Ryland Vetter. 114 pounds is Jared Schilling. 121 Carter Glazeman. 127 Brody Michelson. 133 Tristan Lepp. 139 Riker Vetter. 145 Carson Glazeman. 152 Brody Hoffman. 160 Cole Stock. 172 Jason Nitschke. 189 looks like Daniel Schumacher. 215 Shane Nitschke. And heavyweight we have Cole Nitschke. So bumping Cole Nitschke all the way up to heavyweight. Haas and normal heavyweight for south border not in the lineup tonight. Not sure if that's because he's hurt or sick. Got some cousins here anxious to watch him up here. Ready to watch their cousin Josh Ace. Going back to the lineup for the Broncos. And your expected lineup here at 107 pounds should have Ian Anderson for the Lisbon Broncos. Anderson ranked number 5 at 114 pounds. Ryland Vetter for South Border Mustangs, ranked number 2. So you look at the DG Grappler and the Indy Wrestle rankings. Ryland Vetter ranked second at both of those at 107 pounds. Vetter with a 12-3 record. Anderson sitting at 13-4. Here's part of your Irie Insurance pregame show. That's your matchup or possible matchup at 107 pounds. 114 pounds. You have Jared Schilling. Schilling currently ranked 3rd by DG Grappler and 6th by Indy Wrestle. Cruz Ranke dropping down to 114 pounds right now. Ranked number 5 by DG Grappler, not ranked for Indy Wrestle. Ranke with a 12-5 record. Schilling sitting at 8-6 for the South Border Mustangs. Could be your possible matchup at 114. 121 could see Noah Anderson for Lisbon Broncos, ranked number 1 by DG Grappler at 127, number 2 at Indy Wrestle at 127 pounds, possibly dropping down here to 121 pounds, wrestling Liam Lepp. Let's get that one back. Wrestling Carter Glazeman. So Carter Glazeman also dropping down up there at 127 pounds, but he is down at 121 into tonight's lineup. Glazeman from South Border with a 3-6 record. The sophomore matching up against Noah Anderson for the Lisbon Broncos. Like I said, Anderson ranked at 127, number 1 by DG Grappler, number 2 by Andy Russell with an 8-2 record, also returning state runner-up for the Lisbon Broncos. 133 pounds, Tristan Lepp. 127 pounds. Looking at Brody Michelson for the South Border Mustangs. And then for Lisbon Broncos, possibly Grayson Lyons in there. We'll have to see here between Anderson and Lyons who they go with, bumping up or down. But right now we're looking at possibly Grayson Lyons wrestling Brody Michelson. 133 be another good matchup in this duel between Tristan Lepp. Lepp currently with a 10-4 record from South Border, sitting number 1 DG Grappler rankings, number 2 for Andy Russell. Wrestling Caston Wadeson with 18-3 record. Caston on a pinning tear this year. I believe he has 14 pins, but he is ranked number 7 by DG Grappler and number 4 with Andy Russell. So Fromke out there for the Broncos, picking up some near fall here in this prelim match. And 139, Griffin Greenlee, DG Grappler, Andy Russell, both ranked number 2 starting the second half of the season. He currently has a 15-2 record wrestling Riker Vetter, both returning state place winner. Vetter ranked number 5 by Grappler and Andy Russell. Vetter with a 10-5 record coming into the night's duel. A 145 for South Border Mustangs. Looks like Carson Glazeman with an 8-7 record wrestling Ryan Eng with an 8-6 record. Be one of the pivotal matchups, at least for me in the duel tonight, is that match at 145 between Glazeman and Ryan Eng. A possible matchup at 145. Glazeman, number 6 by Grappler. Andy Russell, number 5. Eng, honorable mention by Grappler, and number 8 for Andy Russell. That's at 145-pound matchup. Eng from Lisbon and Glazeman from South Border. And 152, Brody Hoffman for the South Border Mustangs. Possible matchup with Blaze Ranky. Hoffman currently ranked number 2 at 152 pounds by both Grappler and Andy Russell, possibly wrestling Blaze Ranky. Ranky currently ranked number 2 at 160 pounds. Hoffman with a 12-3 record for South Border. Blaze Ranky for the Broncos sitting at 17-2. Ranky returning state runner-up. Hoffman did not place last year at the state tournament. Came down with an injury. Had a hip injury. Underwent some surgery over the summer. Is back at it here in full force for the South Border Mustangs. Looking to square off with Blaze Ranky. Time runs out on the clock here in that second period with Micah Fromke still up for the Broncos 4-0 in this prelim match. You're back here to our Area Insurance pre-match show. In 172 pounds. Or excuse me, 160 pounds. We got Eli Lyons for the Broncos. Lyons was ranked number 3 by Grappler at 152 and number 4 by Andy Russell. Eli with a 15-2 record, ready to take on Cole Stock for the South Border Mustangs. Stock ranked number 4 by both the Grappler and Andy Russell at 160 pounds. Stock currently with an 8-6 record. 172 pounds. Be another match of the night. Just depends on what the coaches do as far as positioning wrestlers and who has to show first and what their strategy is, but could see Jace Nitschke sitting at 10-4, currently ranked number 2 by the Grappler, and Andy Russell taking on Mike Nelson for the Lisbon Broncos. Nelson currently sitting at 2-0. Okay, had an injury here early in the season. He's back at it full force. Healthy lineup here for the Broncos coming into tonight's duel. He's currently ranked number 6 and number 4. Number 6 by Dakota Grappler, number 4 by Andy Russell. That's Mike Nelson for the Broncos at 172 pounds. In 189, we have number 5, Daniel Schumacher, returning state place winners for South Border. Currently sitting at 11-4. Possibly match up with Trent Metzen for the Lisbon Broncos. And then 215, we have returning state champion Shane Nitschke, ranked number 1 by Grappler and Andy Russell at 215 pounds, sitting with a 13-1 record, going up against number 8 by the grappler, Drew Anderson. Anderson with a 500 record, certainly at 6-6. And at 285, could come down to the heavyweights tonight. We had Josh Hayes for South Border, but he's out of the lineup. They're at least on the card. Going up against Aiden Hinkle. So they had Cole Nitschke here at heavyweight in the lineup. I'm sure they'll bump around wrestlers here. Probably just have him in there as a filler, but Jays could go up or down either way. Danny Schumacher, Shane Nitschke, more than capable in moving up weight classes here to help out the team. So Josh Hayes out of the lineup here at 285. Broncos with Aiden Hinkle sitting with a 3-3 record. Honorable mention by the grappler, not ranked for Indy Wrestle. So that is your possible matchups between the Broncos and the South Border Mustangs. I think we're going to have a 10-minute intermission. They'll probably step away here, take a word from our sponsors, throw back up our coming up slide here for our main duel. So if you see that up there, just come back. A couple minutes, we'll be back up live here from YourLiveEvent.com. We have the South Border Mustangs wrestling the Lisbon Broncos. Sports announcer guy Brent Dick with our camera girl tonight, Kira Mullis. We'll return after word from our sponsors.
Come on. And we're inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join us on an Alaska and Glacier Bay cruise July 23rd to August 4th. We'll discover the cities of Anchorage and Fairbanks and enjoy a guided tour in Denali National Park. We'll also relax on a wonderful 4-night cruise including Glacier Bay National Park. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ for more information and to watch a travel show. Or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
Riverside Building Center in Lisbon, North Dakota is Southeastern North Dakota's premier building supply headquarters. They have it all from the basic home improvements to complete pre-built homes. Their staff is knowledgeable in every product they sell and have over 110 combined years of experience. With their large inventory to sell from and a fleet of 6 delivery vehicles, Riverside Building Center in Lisbon can bring the products to your job site. From a hammer all the way to a home, they have you covered. Visit rbclisbon.com today. Riverside Building Center in Lisbon.
All right, folks, we're going to step away here. I'll put up that coming up slide for a couple minutes. Take another break here. I'll come back here for a duel tonight between the South Border Mustangs and the Lisbon Broncos. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
keeps control for Thompson. Pass receiving's wide open underneath in the basket. Great pass.
Backs down, now kicks out up top to the left side. Caden Dahl. Dahl hesitates, then takes the three and knocks it home good. Dahl to get the turn. Carr trying to keep those legs underneath. Then Cassette gets him down, and there's the pin.
Rebounded by Kendra Severson. Severson, here comes Bevins back the other way. Bevins, little contact, roll it in, good for Elena Bevins, and we're tied.
Through and Zeller with an excuse me bump, and here goes Semp for takeoff.
Alston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Hey, welcome back here. YourLiveEvent.com sports announcer guy Brent Dick, along with our camera girl tonight, Kira Mouse. We're live for North Dakota Class B Duel. North Dakota's Lisbon Broncos, defending state dual team champions, taking on your South Border Mustangs. Broncos also on the individual side of the state tournament last year, finishing in second place with 164 points. South Border in third with 152 points. South Border returns 12 state qualifiers along with 7 returning state place winners. Broncos back with 7 returning state qualifiers and 4 state place winners. Here a little bit of depth on both sides, but looking at the kind of your card tonight, you give the nod to the South Border Mustangs, bringing back those 12 returning state qualifiers from a year ago. The Broncos on a streak of dual team championships on the state side from 2019 to 2023, looking to extend that this year into the 2024 season. You're at the mid part of February. The South Border picking up some dual championships. Their last one was in 2018 up at the state tournament at the Fargo Dome. Yeah, matchup between the two teams. In the last few years here, the Broncos have had the best of the South Border Mustangs. The Mustangs last defeated the Broncos in a duel 34-30. That was here in Lisbon. That was during the 2021 season. The regular season duel matchup. The Broncos kind of got back at the Mustangs that year, flexing their muscles, winning 37-24 in the Region 1 duels, and then came back with a nail-biter, coming down to criteria with Lisbon, defeating the South Border Mustangs for the dual team championship in 2021 by a score of 34-33. And Broncos coming back in 2022 and 2023, getting the best of the Mustangs, winning the regular season duel 48-23, and then defeated them in the region dual team championships by a score of 51-21. 2023 out at Wishick, the Broncos defeated the South Border Mustangs by a score of 42-21 in regular season duel back in January of 2023, and then defeated them again for the Region 1 dual team championship by a score of 57-14. So Broncos winning the last 6 in a row are dual matchups between the Mustangs and the Broncos. South Border winning their last one against the Broncos in 2021 by a score of 34-30. That was here in Lisbon. So we may see a repeat performance of that tonight. South Border bringing back those 12 returning state qualifiers. Broncos with 7. We're going back through that lineup. Some of those key matchups at 107 between Ryland Vetter going against Ian Anderson, 114. You could see Cruz Ranke taking on Jared Schilling. We have ranked wrestlers all up and down this lineup. I believe at least 10 of the 13 weight classes we have kind of ranked matchups between wrestlers, whether it's Dakota Grappler or Indie Wrestle ranking. So got an action-packed and ranked lineup matchup tonight between the South Border Mustangs and Lisbon Broncos. We're going to step away, take a word from our sponsors, come back for our opening match here at 107 pounds. You're watching YourLiveEvent.com.
Far beyond the buildings, classrooms, and the tests. It's about making new friends, trying something different, and discovering your purpose. It's about getting involved, supporting your community, and joining the conversation. It's about learning, growing, and finding your passion. This is not your average classroom. This is the University of Minnesota Crookston.
Hey, welcome back. Duel tonight between the South Border Mustangs and the Lisbon Broncos. Here in the Lisbon High School Gymnasium, home of the Lisbon Broncos. Broncos with 9 individual state championships, 6 state dual team championships, taking on the South Border Mustangs. South Border with 4 state individual Class B championships to go with their 5 state dual team championships. In matchup, going to get a kind of glimpse here now of our starting lineups. Looks like Noah Anderson not in the lineup for the Broncos. So Grayson Lyons in at 121 pounds. Cruz Ranky down to 114. Ian Anderson down to 107.
I want to also recognize the coaches. The South Border Mustangs are coached by Adam Bettenhausen, assisted by Josh Hoffman, Evan Melber, and
getting ready with our starting lineups. I tried to run through those. Got those kind of a little heads up, but nothing definite there from the announcer's booth in the kind of the Ivy Insurance pregame show as far as the lineup. Just some possible matchups. Back at 114, we could see Jared Schilling taking on Cruz Ranky, 121. We have Grayson Lyons in there for the Broncos. Going up against Carter Glazeman, 127. Looks like Cashton Wadeson in there for the Broncos. 133 is Ryan Eng. So we do have 107. We have Ian Anderson and Vetter. 114 is Jared Schilling against Cruz Ranky. You know, gotta get the kind of the official lineup. It doesn't mean that they're gonna wrestle in that spot. Still could bump up or down, or another wrestler go in that spot. Carter Glazeman going up against Grayson Lyons. 127.
From South Border, Brody Michelson.
Yeah, Brody Michelson, and going up against Cashton Wadeson. Wadeson down at 127. Going up against Brody Michelson.
133 pounders. For South Border, Tristan Lepp.
133, Tristan Lepp. Taking on Ryan Eng. Staying down at 133. Big move for Ryan Eng, going down to 133. Eng's been wrestling up at 135, steadily making his way according to his descent plan. 139 is Jordan Dick.
South Border, Brody Hoffman. For Lisbon, Blaze Ranky.
So we got Hoffman and Ranky. So we did skip the lineup there. We have Griffin Greenlee going out for the Broncos. 139. I wonder what happened there.
139 pounders for
And Riker Vetter.
South Border, Riker Vetter.
We'll go back to 145.
152 pounds for South Border, Brody Hoffman.
Is Jordan Dick.
Blaze Ranky.
So Jordan Dick at 145 for the Broncos. Wrestling Carson Glazeman. 160 is Eli Lyons and Cole Stock.
72 pounds for South Border, Chase Hitch.
172.
And for
Lisbon is Mike Nelson and Jay Snitschke.
189 pounds for South Border.
189, Daniel Schumacher.
Lisbon, Drew Anderson.
Wrestling Drew Anderson. So Drew down to 189.
215 pounds for South Border.
Wrestling Schumacher. 215. We have Shane Nitschke. 215 for the Broncos is Trent Metzen. Your heavyweight, we have Cole Nitschke. Made the minimum to wrestle heavyweight tonight for the Mustangs. Wrestling Aiden Hinkle for the Broncos. Well, this thing will start out. You're shot out of a cannon right away here at 107 pounds between Ian Anderson and Ryland Vetter. Both wrestlers familiar with each other, matching up a number of times last year. Ian not in the varsity lineup, but saw a lot of varsity time wrestling in those varsity tournaments. The Ryland Vetter, number 2 ranked wrestler. Going against Ian Anderson, number 5 ranked wrestler at 114 pounds, now wrestling 107. He wrestles right away. Arm drag attempt by Vetter back to the center of the mat. Down to minute 35 to go. Vetter in on another single leg high crotch on Anderson. Vetter's been wrestling down, or has been down at 107 the whole season. Anderson making his first start at 107. So we'll see how that weight descent affects his wrestling tonight. We're ripping that crossface. Now going to that near ankle is Anderson. Still no stalemate called by the referee. Anderson now digging in, trying to hit that cradle. Vetter trying to crack down Anderson's hip to the mat. Anderson going back to work the head, but we have a stalemate call, back for a restart. Opening match of the duel. Vetter got a little strain. Getting up gingerly back to the center of the mat. Down to minute 6 to go in the first period. Rylan Vetter for the season, sitting at 12-3. Records coming off of track wrestling, so that's my alibi for the night. Finished 5th at the Mandan Invite and runner-up at the Linton Holiday Tournament. Ian Anderson, an 8th grader for the Broncos, finished 3rd at the Dan Unruh, 3rd at the L. Larson in in Carrington, and then 4th at the Valley City Holiday Tournament. Has a 13-4 record. A veteran on a double leg, trying that forklift position. Has Anderson down on a hip. In deep, now goes double around the waist. Anderson sprawls out nicely. Still that north-south position. Vetter working, trying to come out the back door. Anderson has the ankle. Is going to try to scoot around behind here to score in the last 10 seconds of our first period. Anderson working the crossface. Vetter not giving up on the leg. Anderson not quite step behind him. On the edge of the mat, they go out of bounds for restart with 2 seconds in the first period. We're back for a restart in the center of the mat. His time runs out on the clock here in the first period. Knotted up at 0. Anderson, choice, chooses bottom position to start the second. They're on a Bank North scoreboard. Opening match of this duel between the Mustangs and the Broncos. 107 pounds, Ian Anderson wrestling Rylan Vetter. Anderson has Vetter down on the hip, not able to take advantage of it. Tripod stand up. Isolates this near arm. Vetter back down on the hip. Anderson trying to step over. Has a leg right in. The far side now going guillotine. Vetter now getting high. Anderson trying to come out the back door. Grabs the head of Vetter. Rolls him over. Anderson 2-point reversal. So Anderson now up 2-0. With the reversal. Going to work on top. Has a half Nelson hooked up. Down to minute 5 in the second period. Anderson with the 2-point reversal takes a 2-0 lead in the match. The Broncos are making some moves in their weight or in their lineup. Wrestlers bumping down after that holiday break, taking advantage of that 2-pound growth allowance, a little Christmas present. Anderson now getting high, gets back in position behind the elbow, still high as Anderson. Working a crossface. Now Vetter has Anderson bottled up here, going towards the edge of the mat. Anderson's going to step back around behind, no position given up as they roll out of bounds. Anderson just got high, didn't get behind the elbow. Is not a normal reaction for Ian. Stayed high over the top. Down to 34 seconds. You have caution on bottom wrestler. Goes against Vetter, that caution. Down to 33 seconds. Far side of the gym. Big crowd on hand for the Broncos. Vetter working over the top, trying to score here at the end of this period. Down to 20 seconds. Vetter working underneath. Trying to hit that dump on Anderson. Anderson now up. Still no point given up by Anderson. Now they'll get 1 point for loss of control for Vetter. Now going in, nice double leg here. Vetter trying to score at the end of the period, take the lead, down to 4 seconds. Anderson going crossface, no points awarded. Got a 2-1 lead for Ian Anderson. Vetter's choice chooses bottom position. Rylan Vetter, number 2 ranked wrestler, 107 pounds at 12-3. Ian Anderson, number 5 at 114, dropping down to 7. Vetter with the sit-out. Anderson tries to hit a half. Nelson has it locked up. Good counter. Almost full Nelson by Anderson. The South Border bench looking for a call. Vetter able to isolate that arm of Anderson. Still kind of high up over the top. Anderson's got to get those hips behind. Now it takes him down. Anderson drops down to a leg. Going to elevate it. Anderson looking for a mat return. Going to go forward trip. Vetter going to get a stall call. So Anderson has to watch for the stall call. Now called for stalling. Anderson able to take him down out on the far side of the mat, the Bronco Swamp side of the mat. It's a 2-1 lead for Ian Anderson. Down to a minute 11 to go in the third period. Opened up this duel, 107 pounds. So Anderson picked up a reversal. In the second period, Vetter escape. Vetter chooses to start this third period on the bottom with Anderson leading 2-1. Down to 50 seconds. Anderson has a half. Nelson locked in on top. Going far wrist. Hey, Anderson just has to kind of step around to the side and suck him up into it. So we top that in Pee-wees. You kind of get over to the side and got to stretch him out, bring him up into and roll him over. Now Vetter, Anderson's working that cradle. He gets high on that. Vetter's able to counter that. Down to 28 seconds. Anderson's been called for stalling. Has a cradle hooked up. Now Vetter isolates an arm. Anderson's get behind him. Has a chin drop. Going to try to whip Vetter down to 15 seconds. Anderson's high. Vetter's looking to come out the back door on Anderson. Anderson's trying to tie him up here down to 8 seconds. 7. He's going to give up 2 here. Vetter steps around behind. We'll see what the call is. No points, so we give no points. So Anderson's going to win 2-1 over Vetter. It's a controversial call here, but Anderson's going to pick up the victory. 2-1. Broncos go out in this duel 3-0. So winner by decision, 2-1 is Ian Anderson. It's a close match every time they go out there between Anderson and Vetter for the rest of the season. Jared Schilling going up against Cruz Ranke. Ranke coming down from 121. Schilling ranked number 3 and 6. 3 by the Grappler, 6 by Indy Russell. With an 8-6 record, Cruz Ranke 12-5. Ranke number 5 ranking by the Grappler, not ranked by Andy Russell. The elevation change by Ranke to start things out. Wrestlers back to the center of the mat. Ranke high crotch on Schilling, far edge of the mat. Going to take him down. Nice return by Ranke. Oh, they get called out of bounds. No takedown. I say that's a return favor there on that call by the referee. Going the way of the Mustangs. Ranke past the elbow. Working hand control, head position back to the near center of the mat. Ranke, nice high crotch, misses it. Schilling, good sprawl. Down to 55 seconds in the first period. Broncos with a 3-0 duel lead. Ranke in at another high crotch. So far, Ranke, the aggressor, doubles up on it. Has Schilling going to step around as a half Nelson, locked up on Schilling, pushing him over, looking for some bonus points, picking up near fall. Did get a 2 count, going to stretch this arm out of Schilling. Ranke has it tight. Schilling's on his back. And he'll get pinned for Cruz Ranke. Puts the Broncos up 9-0 at 114 pounds. So a pin for Cruz Rankies puts Lisbon up.
Lisbon Grayson, Lions.
Grayson Lions wrestles Carter Gleesman. Gleesman with a 3-6 record. And Grayson Lions in and out of lineup wrestling 121 pounds. A lot of varsity time returning state qualifier for the Broncos. Wrestlers back near center of the mat. Little shot level change by Gleesman. And working inside cradle, has it, almost had it locked up as Lions. Lions does have the cradle locked up, not able to run it over. Gleesman gets back out in front. Little Saltborder, they like to work that dump underneath to get the work under there. The Lions still with that front headlock, gets around 2-point takedown for Grayson Lions. He goes up 2-0. As Gleesman momentarily broke down. Gleesman, a nice sit out into a switch, but Lions able to counter down to 46 seconds in our first period. Got to put that points up for the Broncos. Get into the duel, forget to keep the score. And our weights updated. At 121 pounds, we got potentially dangerous, so stop in action with 31 seconds here at 121 pounds. Broncos opening up this duel with a decision by Ian Anderson, 2-1 over Ryland Vetter. Kind of controversial ending to that one with Anderson getting the best of that by decision, 2-1. Lisbon goes up 3-0. Cruz Ranky comes out at 114 pounds, picks up a big bonus point victory for the Broncos, putting Broncos up 9-0 going into this 121 pound match with Lions and Carter Gleesman. Lions now with a leg ride. Down to 8 seconds. Has it turked over. Trying to pick up some near fall. Lions just has to, when you get in that position, going to walk that far arm out. So no near fall given up by Gleesman. Lions is up 2-0 going into the second period. Gleesman chooses neutral. Your Bank North scoreboard, Lisbon leads the duel 9-0. Match score is 2-0. Gleesman's choice, he chose a neutral. Now Lions back in that front headlock. Gonna step around behind Gleesman, able to catch this leg of Lions. Lions now in deep as Gleesman. Gleesman's looking to return it back to the mat. Has Lions cracked down. Lions back to his hips up. Lions working back to the head. Now isolates it. Gets 2-point takedown for Grayson Lions. Puts him up by a score of 4-0 on the match at 121 pounds. And Lions has us turked up, picking up near fall. That's Gleesman giving up near fall. Lions working a new move. Has this leg right into a Turk figured out. Now working for a fall. And he does. He picks up a fall for Grayson Lions. Ref down there with the view. Puts the Broncos up now 15-0. Broncos now up 15-0. We have a timeout. Take a step away here with the Broncos leading 15-0 going into their 127-pound match. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals celebrating over 40 years of service. As an experienced independent insurance agency, they have access to highly rated insurance companies and can shop around to find you an affordable solution for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. Visit them at one of their locations in Lisbon, Winter, or Rutland and get a free quote started today. For more information, go to nd-insure.com.
From on-site farm repairs to maintaining the condition of your vehicle, trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customer satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
Hey, welcome back here. 127-pound match between Captain Wadeson and Brody Michelson. Wadeson dropping down from 133 after the Christmas break with that 2-pound growth allowance. Broncos opening up a 15-0 dual lead and heading into 127 pounds. Both wrestlers locked up, collar tie position. Wadeson. Nice step around by Michelson. Wadeson level change. Michelson steps back around, circles to the middle. They get called out of bounds for this restart. Back to minute 30 in the first period. Wadeson aggressive with the underhook. The hand fighting on that far side. It's Wadeson, the aggressor. A lot of pushing in on Michelson. Down to a minute 12 to go in the first period. Ashton Wadeson, ranked number 7 by the grappler, number 4 by Indy Russell. At 127. And Michelson also in the lineup for South Border. Returning state qualifier. At 113 pounds last year for South Border. Well, Wadeson in on his single leg. Nice little step over. The head cradle locked up, so a 2-point takedown for Michelson. Wadeson was in on it. The single leg had it locked up. Michelson able to reverse that on Wadeson. Wadeson now looking for a reversal. Is going to step across. Has Michelson cracked down on the mat. Wadeson just going to try to step over here. Has arm around the waist, gets 2-point reversal. Tied up now 2 apiece in the first period, down to 15 seconds to go. Michelson with the first 2 points of the match. Wadeson with the reversal. Broncos are coming into this duel. Just they shot out of the cannon and just open things up. Winner by decision at 107. Picked up 2 pins at 14 and 21. Michelson's trying to stop the momentum of the Broncos here at 127. We have blood time, so we'll step away here with our blood time out. Take a word from our sponsors. We'll come back. YourLiveEvent.com.
And get your free copy, The Digital Sports Guide. It's the winter sports guide for R&J Sports, and it's free, it's digital, and it's available on rjbroadcasting.com. The cover's blue, it's got great photos on it, and it's easy for you to download. Simply go to rjbroadcasting.com, click on the winter sports guide, or scan the QR code if you see it on the flyer or on our social media pages or on the screens. It's the Winter Sports Guide, R&J Sports 2023-24, available now, rjbroadcasting.com.
Hey, welcome back. After that blood time out, that was Wadeson's choice. He chose to start bottom, hits a sit out to a switch. Has the leg, he's going to crack down Michelson. Hips on the mat. Michelson comes back over the top looking for a head cradle to try to stop this reversal attempt by Wadeson. Wadeson trying to score out of this, doesn't want a stalemate. Michelson now down on his hip. Wadeson steps across. Still not able to get that head out. And Wadeson comes up to the head on Michelson. Might have something. And Michelson still has Wadeson tied up. He gets a stalemate call, so the best outcome for Michelson on that is a stalemate, and he gets a restart back to the center of the mat. Down to minute 18. Wadeson with the stand-up. Isolates the hands. Michelson mat return. Wadeson up, down, hips into it. Has that head behind. Oh, Wadeson and Michelson going at it down to minute 6. Oh, Wadeson got those hips turned in, tried to chin whip it. Michelson catches weights and takes him back to the mat. Get called out of bounds here with a minute to go in the second period for the restart. Wadeson chose bottom position. Showing a lot of effort on the bottom by Wadeson, but no points to show for yet as they go out of bounds. So Michelson with a good ride so far, keeping Wadeson down to 45 seconds in our second period. Wadeson with an 18-3 record for the Broncos. Now Wadeson chin whips down Michelson. Has Michelson giving up a reversal and some near fall coming by way here for Cashton Wadeson. Now working for the fall is Wadeson. Down to 25 seconds. Picking up his near fall is Cashton Wadeson. Has it locked up on Michelson. Wadeson going to try to flatten out Michelson. Still has it locked up. Takes him flat to the mat. That right shoulder up. Ref's down there taking a look at it. Wadeson down to 10 seconds. Looking for the fall is Cashton Wadeson. Here to closing out. He wins by a pin for Wadeson. Another bonus point victory for the Broncos. Broncos take a 21-0 lead. Wadeson with the reversal and the near fall. Wins by fall. Another pin for Wadeson. I believe that's number 15 on the year. Broncos up 21-0. So 133 pounds. Tristan Lepp bringing in the big guns now here for South Border with Tristan Lepp going out there. Lepp, 133 pounds with a 10-4 record. Ranked number 1 by the Grappler, number 2 by Indy Russell. Ryan Eng coming down. Had been wrestling up at 145. Made his descent down to 133. Ryan, state runner-up in 2022 at 106 pounds for the Broncos. Lepp, nice shuck. Picks up 2-point takedown. You're at 133 pounds. That's 2 points for Lepp. Leads us one by a score 2-0. So Lepp up in this match, 2-0 on Bank North scoreboard. Lisbon leads the duel 21-0. Broncos picking up 3 bonus point victories. I looked at that as their key to the match tonight for the Broncos is trying to string together as many bonus point victories as they can before they get to that end of the lineup, that far end of the lineup for the Mustangs. And Eng working a reversal here down to a minute to go. Has Lepp down on his hip. Eng is going to come out the back door. Has Lepp going over to his back, and Eng slams Lepp down. Has him going to his back. Ryan Eng caught it. Looking for a fall as Ryan Eng has 2-point reversal. Looking for a near fall. Down to 42 seconds. A lot of time here for Ryan Eng. Comes up over the top of the face. Ryan Eng has Lepp in trouble. It's tied up now 2 apiece, but Eng will pick up some near fall. Eng has just got to work up towards the head. Keep Lepp down there the rest of this period. So Eng working for the fall. Lepp's on his back. Left shoulder up just by a little bit to close things out here. Last 15 seconds. Lepp able to get belly down. Eng goes up 5-2. So give 2 reversal. And 3 near fall for Ryan Eng to close things out. Oh, Coach Lucina has the Broncos here spitting nails in this duel, opening things up with a 21-0 lead over the Mustangs. Lepp chooses bottom. Lepp off the whistle, this stand up. Eng, a nice mat return. Gonna try rolls through on Eng, using some of his athleticism. A dangerous roll, gets through it. Momentarily exposes his back, but down to 1:40 to go in the second period. Eng is going to step around behind and hooks the ankle Lepp. Now a 5-2 lead for Ryan Eng in the second period. Eng picking up the reversal and 3 near fall. Working that far center of the mat. As Lepp rope belly down, Eng looks like he has a bar arm hooked up in near side, but Lepp powers out of it. Ryan with the chicken wing. Hooked up the chicken wing king here. Ryan Ing has it hooked up on Lepp. Hasn't broke belly down. Gonna walk it around his head. Ing has it hooked up on Lepp. Gonna walk him over. Lepp fighting off his back. Ing's got to reset those hips and get a little more leverage underneath, or get those hips. Ing's gonna try to step over on Lepp. Still no near fall given up by Lepp. Ing's gonna step all the way over on this. Down to 40 seconds. Ing with the pinning combination hooked up on Lepp. Now gets a swipe. Now picking up near fall. Ryan Ing has the chicken wing locked in. He'll settle in for some near fall. Steps across. Trying to use all 133 pounds to score some more near fall for the Broncos. Lepp in some pain down there, grimacing on the bottom. Ing's going to pick up a couple near fall. And that shoulders are Lepp. A flattened Ryan Ing with the pin for the Broncos. Back to back to back to back pins for the Lisbon Broncos. For Ryan Ing with the chicken wing. You're looking for big points for the Broncos. Bonus point victory. You spit nails and shot out of the can tonight of the Lisbon Broncos. The Mustangs, you're trying to stop the bleeding at 139. Greenlee and Riker better. Your Banknorth scoreboard, the Broncos are up 27-0. Picked up a decision at 107. Pins since then up through 133. A better going to step over. So Greenlee, it tries that elevator. Going to pick up 2-point takedown. A better now when the spladle has Greenlee broke down. Working a power half over the top. And Greenlee back, going to drive Vetter down. So now Greenlee looking for his own reversal. Greenlee's got to go head in the hole, digs his head in the hole. Trying to step around, but still no points given up by Vetter. Vetter able to lock that leg down on Greenlee in that situation position. And Greenlee going double underhooks. Down to a minute to go in this first period. Greenlee with the shuck, gets his 1-point escape. So under a minute to go in the first period. It's a 2-1 lead for Vetter. Greenlee and Vetter in a scramble position. Greenlee trying to pass the leg, but has Vetter in danger. Spins back around. Vetter has Greenlee wrapped up in a Peterson. Greenlee powers through, has Vetter in an iron cross. Vetter rolls through. Entertaining match here at 139 pounds. Down to 23 seconds to go in the first period. It's 2-1 lead. A lot of scoring opportunities by both wrestlers. So Riker Vetter, older brother, the Ryland Vetter at 107. The pedigree in this match here. Griffin Greenlee, the younger brother, Bowden Greenlee. You go in with Vetter's choice. He defers over to Greenlee. Greenlee chooses bottom. Greenlee goes bottom here at 139 with Riker Vetter leading 2-1. Greenlee with a 15-2 record. Finished second at the Dan Unruh, first at the L. Larson up at Carrington, and fourth at the Valley City Holiday Tournament. Right away off the whistle, Greenlee with the sit-out. Gets those hips away, turns into Vetter. Working underneath. Now Vetter goes front headlock into the inside cradle. Greenlee still trying to scoot those hips. Cracks down. Now backs out for a 1-point escape. Tied up now with 2 apiece. So tied up. Vetter, the first one to score in the match. And Riker Vetter with a 10-5 record, ranked number 5 at 139 pounds. Greenlee was number 2 ranked wrestler by both the grappler and ND Wrestle. So a premier matchup here at 139. Now Greenlee doubles up on Vetter. He's going to elevate it. Greenlee just has to return Vetter safely down to the mat. Steps over. picks up his 2-point takedown, so he's up 4-2 over Riker Vetter. Vetter looking to score here at the end of this second period. Already see he does have a Peterson, an armbar hooked up by Greenlee. Now he's going to walk it back around, has it left and right. Now, nice counter. Nice counter by Vetter. He sat up just at the right time, but now Greenlee has Vetter back on his back with that armbar. He's going to walk it around, chin whips him down. Vetter's north-south. Shoulders flat on the mat. He puts by pin for Griffin Greenlee. Greenlee with the pin over Riker Vetter. The Broncos coming out here fired up. Coach said he had them ready to go. Spit nails. 5 pins in a row. Bonus point victories. Picking up a decision at 107. The Broncos up 33-0. We're going to take a word from our sponsors, come back for a 145-pound match. Jordan Dick going out for the Broncos.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
When you choose...
Hey, welcome back. YourLiveEvent.com here for 145-pound match. We have a little technical issue starting out here at 145 pounds. Little headgear equipment timeout. Back here with a minute 55 to go in our first period at 145 between Glazeman and Jordan Dick from the Broncos. Jordan Dick, a senior, wrestling up 152, 160. Find his spot here in the starting lineup at 145 pounds. Kind of coming out of a breakout season last year for the Broncos. Carson Glazeman, a senior, picks up a 2-point takedown. He's up 2-0. Jordan Dick head on the mat now. Hits a stand-up. Nice stand-up there by Jordan Dick. No hesitation. Gets those hips up and away. He's up 2-1. Or excuse me, Glazeman's up 2-1 over Jordan Dick. Down to minute 7. Now Glazeman has Dick going over to his back on the edge of the mat. Has those feet in bounce. Scored near fall. Glazeman working for the fall. He got called out of bounds. So we got 2 near fall. A warning, bench warning for Coach Lucina out there doing some refereeing for our official tonight. To Glazeman with the takedown and 2 near fall. It's a 6-1 lead for Glazeman. So Glazeman with 2 takedowns and 2-point near fall leads 6-1. And Glazeman looking to stop the pinning streak for the Broncos here at 145. 152 will have Hoffman and Ranke coming up. That's on deck. So 6 matches deep into this duel. And number 7 on the night. Broncos so far winning 6 in a row, up through 107 through 139. Winner by decision is Ian Anderson, 2-1 over Ryland Vetter. Then it's been pins all the way for the Broncos. Pins by Cruz Ranke, Grayson Lyons, Cashton Waitson, Ryan Eng, and Griffin Greenlee. Broncos can't ask for a much better start. Coach Lucina and McCleary can't ask for much better of a start for his Broncos here to start the second period. It's a 6-1 lead. And Carson Glazeman, the senior, at 145 pounds, leads Jordan Dick, the senior from the Broncos, 6-1. So a shot here on Jordan. They get called out of bounds. Jordan with the blood time. The blood time here, the 145-pound match, the minute 31 mark of the second period. If I step away, take a word from our sponsor here in your Bank North scoreboard. Lisbon leads this duel by a score of 33-0. Step away, take a word from our sponsor. You're watching YourLiveEvent.com.
Backed by an insurance policy provider that meets your specific requirements. At Farmers Union Insurance, Lance Gullison Agency, they offer reliable insurance policies from homeowners, farm and ranch, contractors, small businesses, and more. Let the staff at Lance Gullison Agency take care of you today. For more information, stop into their office on Main Street in Lisbon or email lance.gullison@fumic.com.
The Lisbon...
Hey, welcome back, Lisbon High School Gymnasium. North Dakota Class B wrestling here on the east side of the state between the Broncos and the South Border Mustangs. Lisbon returning state dual champions. Started their dual championship streak back in 2019. And Jordan Dick here on a front headlock. Glazeman has Dick cracked down. Dick has to go belly out. Now up 8-1 in second period. Down to a minute to go in this second period. And Jordan Dick working to the edge of the mat. Could get called for stalling, and he does. So gets called for crawling off the edge of the mat. Oh, having words again. The officials and Coach Lucina. You don't want to turn that official against you, I tell you that. Broncos, I think, with a couple fortunate calls tonight so far in this duel. Down to 35 seconds to go in our second period. And Jordan Dick broke belly down. Glazeman trying to isolate, go with the hammerlock. Does get it isolated, has hammerlock hooked up. Crosses back, Dick sits out. Nice reaction by Jordan Dick to counter the hammerlock attempt. Now going, passes the arm over the head, hits those hips away, turns into Glazeman. Dick trying to score on the edge of the mat, down to 15 seconds. Glazeman steps back around, maintains control. The match score is 8-1 in favor of Glazeman. Glazeman picking up 3 takedowns in the match. 3 takedowns in the match and 2 near fall for his 8 points. Jordan Dick with an escape in the first period. We have an alternate start. We have a caution. He has to get, has to offset. 45 off the back, hands on the mat, lets Jordan Dick up, looking for a big move. Here's Glazeman to try to get some bonus points. He's up by 6. Dick with the double leg. Nice shot by Jordan Dick, has a high crotch hooked up on Glazeman. Glazeman countering with the whizzer. Able to whizzer out of it. Now reshoots, has Dick cracked down, takes 2-point takedown. Nothing awarded yet. Now he gets his 2 points. He's up by 8. Major decision victory in the works here for Carson Glazeman. So at 145 pounds, Bank North scoreboard, Lisbon leads 33-0. Match score 10-2 in favor of Carson Glazeman for South Border over Jordan Dick with the minute 10 mark of our third period. Glazeman has that cradle, looking for a cradle. Dick doing some hand fighting underneath. Glaceman trying the ball and chain. Now going to another pinning combination. Dick isolates, trying to pass that arm over the head. Glaceman with that ankle picked on the far side. Now goes crossface down to 48 seconds. Working head to knee. Has it locked up tight on Jordan Dick. Glaceman's going to try to sit him back. Dick countering. Has that leg cooked by Glaceman's down to 36 seconds. Glaceman has to pass out of that move. Now Dick isolates the hands. Gets back up. Builds his base. Down to 24 seconds. Dick attempting a stand-up. Has to get 1 point here to get rid of that major decision. So Dick tripods up down to 15 seconds. Peterson's out of it. Granby's out of it, but not able to clear the hips. Maybe try a stand-up in that position. Just get the 1 point. Had those hips cleared, but Glaceman will pick up a win by major decision. 10-2. It's your 145-pound match. Now we're back up to 152 between Hoffman and Ranke. Southborder with their first points on the board at 145 with a major decision win by Carson Glaceman over Jordan Dick. The Broncos look like they spent their Christmas vacation getting better. They're coming into this duel tonight. Brody Hoffman, Blaze Ranke. Blaze state runner-up. Hoffman, state qualifier last year. They're running some tough times getting injured going into the state tournament. Ranke drops down to high crotch single. Has Hoffman. Drags him down to the mat for 2 point takedown. Hoffman's Granby's roll through. Ranke follows him around. So Broncos up 33-4 on our Bank North scoreboard here at 152 pounds. Sports announcer guy Brent Dick, along with our camera girl tonight, Kira Moss. You're live from Lisbon High School Gymnasium. Brody passes a leg of Ranke. Ranke going the leg pass for Hoffman. Rolls through, crosses shoulders. Hoffman's going to come out the back door on Ranke. Ranke in danger. Still rolling through, has Hoffman in. It's potentially dangerous. That leg of Hoffman wrapped up. Almost touching his nose, going behind his head. The 2-1 lead for Blaze Ranke. Now we have blood time. Here, 55 seconds to go in this first period. We'll step away, take a word from our sponsors here at their blood time timeout. We're live from Lisbon High School Gymnasium. You're watching YourLiveEvent.com.
Students will learn, experience success, and be good citizens from elementary through high school. The school staff and community takes great pride in providing meaningful and innovative opportunities for our students who continue to maintain ACT scores above state and national averages. Watch your kids continue to grow within the Lisbon Public School District from the playing surface to the classroom. For more information, go online to lisbonpublicschools.com.
For trusted.
All right, back at it here at Lisbon High School Gymnasium. After blood timeout, down to 50 seconds to go in this first period. Broncos up on the Bank North scoreboard, 33-4. Blaze Ranke, level change, doubles it up, has Hoffman cracked down. Looking for a 2 point takedown, picks it up, 2 points. Has a crossface hooked up on Hoffman. Leg is turked over here on the far side, so Brody Hoffman in a tough position with that leg turked. Ranke going to stretch it out, has Hoffman going over, picking up near fall. Got at least a 1 swipe, so he does have 2 point near fall for Blaze Ranke on the edge of the near side of the mat. Could go inside cradle there. All right, down to 7 seconds, first period. Blaze Ranke now up 6-1. 2 takedowns and 2 near fall for Ranke. So Ranke down from 160. Said Broncos look like they took the Christmas vacation serious. Coming out here tonight, taking it to the southboard Mustang so far in this first half of the duel. Hoffman, Granby attempts, but Ranke stuffing those reversal attempts by Hoffman down to a minute 45 to go in their second period. Ranke ankle spiked in the back, near side. Works a crossface cradle using those long arms to try to cradle up Hoffman. And one of my favorite pinning combinations in high school, spike the back ankle, go crossface and stretch him out. Now down to minute 15. Ranke still up 6-1 on Hoffman. Has a tilt hooked up here, a little chicken wing. Still 2-on-1 here for Blaze Ranke. Hand fighting underneath. Not much action. There's a lot of hand fighting going on underneath. Now Ranke tried that roll through tilt with that chicken wing. They're going to get right out of bounds. So Ranke, Hoffman roll out of bounds. A good defense by Brody Hoffman. The Broncos up in the Duel on your Bank North scoreboard by a score of 33-4. Started out win by decision with Ian Anderson 2-1 over Ryland Vetter, and then put together 5 pins, putting up 30 more points on the boards for the Broncos, winning or going in, building that lead 33-zip before Carson Glazman picks up a major decision victory over Jordan Dick at 145 pounds. Ball and chain hooked up by Blaze Ranke. Ranke digging that shoulder. He's going to try to roll over the top. Strong hips. Strong core for Brody Hoffman. Ranke not able to score off that tilt attempt. Time expires. Ranke's going to take a 6-1 lead into the third. And Blaze Ranke ranked number 2 coming down here. Was ranked number 2 at 160 pounds. Brody Hoffman, number 2 ranked wrestler at 152 before the holidays. So a couple of number 2 ranked wrestlers, Ranke up at 160 and Hoffman 152. Ranke with that escape goes up 7-1, then a single leg shot. Hoffman far edge of the mat. Ranke has Hoffman going over to his back. Ranke working a pinning combination. Caught Hoffman. Got to stretch out this far. Near arm here, closest to us. Has that arm. There he goes. Now he's going to dig underneath the armpit. Working for the fall. Pinning by fall is Blaze Ranke for the Broncos. Here they go up 39-4.
Winner by fall, Blaze Ranke.
So Ranke taking out number 2 Hoffman at 152. A big matchup now. Going back to last year's region tournament between Eli Lyons and Cole Stock. Lyons had Stock on his back, trying to earn a spot in the state tournament, but Stock able to power through it. Lyons not able to pick up that pin. Looking for a little redemption tonight here against Cole Stock at 160 pounds. Broncos lead this duel 39-4. Ranke, nice high crotch, goes into a single leg, has that head stuffed to the inside. Stock. His stout, muscular build on Stock. Line's a little bit lean. Now, nice shoulder spin by by Lyons. Down to 38 seconds. That was a fast minute and a half in this match here at 160 pounds. Eli at 152 for the Broncos. Ranke bumping down to 52. Lyons going up to 60. Lyons was ranked number 3 by the grappler, number 4 by Andy Russell. Cole Stock, 160, ranked number 4. Lyons with the 15-2 record. Stock sitting at 8-6. Cole Stock placed 8th at the Mandan Invitational and 3rd at the Linton Holiday Tournament. Eli Lyons had a hot start to the season. Now Stock and Lyons go out of bounds here on the edge of the mat. They go out on the edge. No points awarded to either wrestler. Like Stock hitting hardwood on the floor. So Eli Lyons off to a hot start, picked up his victory or championship at the Dan Under at 152. Carrington Invitational up at the Al Larson. First place finish, and then 7th place at the Valley City Holiday Tournament. A little bit ailing going into that tournament with Eli Lyons, but off to a great start this year in his sophomore campaign. Has an ankle pick hooked up. Stock trying to power through. Lyons hits a chin whip back around a lat drop just on the edge of the mat, letting Stock know no points are going to come easy here at 152 pounds. Down to 6 seconds this first period. The Broncos couldn't have started this duel any better. Now with 6 pins, 1 win by decision. Up next, 172, and Mike Nelson and Jason Nitschke. So whatever's going on in that Bronco wrestling room right now, I kind of like it here. Looking at the start to this second half of the season for the Broncos here tonight against the South Border Mustangs. Everything going the right way for the Broncos. Stock tries an inside cradle. Lyons stands up, gets hips turned away. 1 point escape for Eli Lyons. So Lyons now up 1-0. Stock edge of the mat. Lyons rolls through again. Stock, just as he thought he was going to have that takedown. Lyons, the funky wrestling styles, seen it all the way in the PE ranks, just kind of let him do his own thing out there. Some of that funkiness, you don't want to wrestle it out of or coach it out of him. You just let him go with it. Eli putting that to use tonight. Like I said, these two went at it. The region individual tournament with Stock coming out on top. Lyons had his chance, had Stock on his back. Stock not able to capitalize on that up over in the top of the situation position. Lyons backs out. Stock level change. Lyons steps away back to the center of the mat. Oh, Lyons went for a single outside single. Stock stuffs that attempt quickly around for a go behind 2-point takedown. He's up 2-1 over Eli Lyons. 160-pound match. Lyons quickly stands up, trying to isolate. Gets a 1-point escape. Reshoots on Stock. In there in a high crotch fireman's. Lyons trying to work this on Stock. Going to try to dump him. Going to back out. Lyons on his knees. Stock. There's Lyons. I'd get off my knees here. Stock looks like right now the middle linebacker could just run him over. Stock explodes. You can see the explosiveness of Cole Stock at the end of the match. He does get 2-point takedown. So Lyons, I think I'd like to see him come up to his feet on that instead of letting Stock explode. He takes a 4-2 lead now in the bottom position starting the third period. The mat return by Lyons. The Lyons has the armbar hooked up far side of the mat. Stock, hip down, rolls out of bounds. Lyons has that near ankle pick on the backside. And working inside cradle. Stock gets call out of bounds for restart back to the center of the mat. Quick stand up by Stock. Lyons not able to hit the body lock on Stock. Picks up a 1-point escape for Cole Stock, up 5-2. Here in the third period, 1:10 to go. Lyons level change. I said I'd like to see Lyons back up on his feet. Zubkin. The wrestlers on that far edge of the mat, down to 49 seconds. Lions, little hip toss by Stock to go out of bounds for a restart with 42 seconds left. Down to 40 seconds. Stock, head, hands, defense, able to stuff the shot attempt or level change by Lions. And Stock in the blue singlet, white trim, back to the mat. Lions has double underhooks. Down to 23 seconds. Lions going to try a throw. In a duel like this, that's just what you don't want to do, though, for Eli Lions. I kind of thought you would try that. You'd try that in a tournament, but not in a duel because you don't want to give up that bonus point. So now it's a 10-2 lead, so it's going to be another win by major decision for Cole Stock. Lions here at the end of the period going to try to score. No point awarded. So Stock picking up a major decision. So it's been about bonus point victories for both teams tonight. Gotta get the score right. Going into 160 pounds. Mike Nelson, 172 pounds. The back, they do have blood time out there with Lydell Mayers taking care of the blood time here for both coaches. Here in your Bank North scoreboard. At Bank North, they take community to heart, helping their customers achieve their financial goals while supporting and improving the great rural communities we serve. They're more than just a bank. At Bank North, it's a community partner that you can always count on. It's values-based banking. To learn more, visit ibanknorth.com, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. That's Bank North, your scoreboard sponsor tonight. Your Broncos lead 39-8, building up a 33-point lead before the Southport Mustangs and Carson Glazeman pick up a win by major decision. And the matchup here, ranked matchup between Nelson and Nitschke. Nelson, four-time state place winner for the Broncos, wrestling Jason Nitschke. Nitschke, state runner-up from last year. Nelson placed third. Previous years, this was a Blaze Ranke and Jason Nitschke matchup. Now, Mike Nelson and Jason Nitschke going at it. Both seniors. Broncos lead duel 39-8. Bank North scoreboard, 172 pounds. Still wrestling here, 189, 215, and heavyweight. Nelson double leg. Nitschke hips back. Back to the center of the mat. Mike Nelson coming out of the holiday break, healthy, was injured at the start of the season in practice. Down to a minute to go in this first period. Both wrestlers working center of the mat. Now Nelson, nice explode, power double shot there. Drops down to a single on Nitschke. Nitschke working that wizard. Good shot by Nelson. Nelson walks back to the center of the mat. Nitschke following. Down to 26 seconds. Little arm drag by Nitschke. Nelson gets those hips away. Nitschke drops down to a single leg. Nelson trying to counter. Down to 15 seconds. Nelson heavy up over top. Trying to use that muscle he put on over the summer. Down to 9 seconds. Looking like Big Brother Joe out there now. Down to 2 seconds. And that first period scoreless going into the second. Nitschke's choice. He defers to Nelson. Nelson chooses bottom. If I thought you'd have told me the duel score going in at 172 was 39-8. Before the duel, I would have told you you're dreaming, but the Broncos all up 39-8 over the South Border Mustangs. Nelson with that 1-point escape in the second period. Duel started at 100 pounds. Broncos winning that one by decision with Ian Anderson over Ryland Vetter by score of 3-0. Broncos pick up 5 pins in a row, put them up 33-0 before that major decision win by Carson Glazeman. Now the Mustangs, that was at 145. Blaze Ranke came back with another pin, so 6 on the night for the Broncos. The Broncos with 36 points off of pins. And that was at 152 pounds. Now Nelson, scoring opportunity for Nelson. That's Nitschke going hip down. Nelson's going to pick up 2-point takedown over Nitschke. So Nelson goes up 3-0. Got a minute to go in the second period. And 160, another win by a major decision for the Mustangs. And Cole Stock winning 10-2 over Eli Lyons. Lyons tries that throw there. Something I'd say for a tournament, maybe not the duel against South Border. Gives Glazeman some extra points and a win by major decision. So down to 24 seconds, the 1-point escape. For Nitschke, his choice to start the third period down to 10 seconds. But Nitschke, last 10 seconds, closes the distance with Nelson down to 5 seconds in the second period. Time on the clock expires. Jace Nitschke chooses bottom. Mike Nelson takes a look around at the crowd here. He's up 3-1. You have caution on red. Back for a restart here in the third period. Mike Nelson up 3-1. Jace Nitschke 10-4 on the year. Plays fourth at the Mandan Lions Invitational. And second out at the Linton Holiday Tournament. At 172 pounds, ranked number 2 by DG Grappler and Andy Russell. Mike Nelson is going to start out the season at 189, wrestled a couple matches up there before injury, so he's sitting at 2-0. Ranked number 6 and 4 by the Grappler and Andy Russell. Now it's a 3-2 lead, 1-point lead for Nitschke. Yeah, look for Nitschke to kind of ride this one down to about 30 seconds and then go for the work hard for the takedown against Nelson. Nelson with that 1-point lead. Now Nitschke working inside, trying to isolate. Nice level change by Nelson. Wrestler's locked up back to center of the mat. Nitschke thinks about it. Snaps down on Nelson. Nelson pushes into Nitschke. Broncos, nice crowd on hand for the duel tonight. They lead 39-8 on their Bank North scoreboard. Both teams in action tomorrow at the Central Cass Letterman's tournament. Nelson dives in on Nitschke. Nitschke hooks up underneath on Nelson. Nelson trying to back out. Down to 40 seconds. Wrestler stood back up. Down to 35 seconds. Now 30 seconds. No, Nitschke takes a breath, steps back. Nelson back steps. Down to 25 seconds. Nelson back in on Nitschke. Nelson not backing down on this. He has a 3-2 lead on Nitschke, down to 19 seconds. Nitschke working some hand control. Nelson back to the center of the mat. Nelson playing defense now, down to 8 seconds. He can take a stall call, down to 7 seconds. Down to 5, 4 seconds. Nelson steps away, and Mike Nelson picks up your win by decision over Jace Nitschke, 3-2 in his return back into the lineup for the Lisbon Broncos. Broncos sorely needed a Mike Nelson in the lineup. Anchor down their heavier weights, and he's back in it. Picks up a win by decision. So Drew Anderson wrestling Daniel Schumacher at 189. On the 189, 215 in heavyweights. The Broncos lock up the win. Still a lot of wrestling to go. Schumacher and Anderson. Anderson down to 189. You're looking at your Enbridge Energy player of the game and RDK Enterprise Precision player of the game. Just looking through that Bronco lineup, it's hard to look at just one of those victories, bonus point victories there. So we'll have to put a little more thought, or maybe we don't have to put a lot of thought into that. And also your RDK Enterprise Precision player of the game. So that'll come up here in our postgame show, or Olsen Accounting postgame show. And Schumacher pushes Anderson out of bounds down to minute 11 to go in the first period. You're scoreless in the first, down to 1 minute. Schumacher going underhook, working head position on Anderson. So Anderson letting Schumacher inside his defense. Schumacher is going to try to body lock on Anderson. Anderson hips into it. Schumacher and Anderson go out of bounds on the far side, down to 53 seconds. Down to 45. Wrestlers on the edge of the mat go out of bounds. Still scoreless in the first, down to 30 seconds between Schumacher and Anderson. And Anderson, nice little inside trip. Schumacher took him down to his knees, no points. The offense shown by Drew Anderson. Wrestlers restart back to the center of the mat. Anderson goes underneath Schumacher, down to 6 seconds. Schumacher looking to score at the end of the period, chucks around, walks for a go behind takedown with 2-point lead going into the second period for Daniel Schumacher. He's up 2-0 over Drew Anderson. Remember back to the region tournament last year, individual side, a match between Gabe Lyons and Daniel Schumacher, pivotal for the Broncos in their pursuit of another individual championship. Schumacher and Lyons colliding, going head to head. Lyons suffered a concussion in that match, a championship match it was 195 last year. The Lions not able to continue into the state tournament. A lot of points left on the table there by the Broncos without Lions in their lineup. So Schumacher with the escape now has a 3-0 lead. Down to a minute 30 to go in our second period. So Daniel Schumacher, ranked number 5 by the grappler and Andy Russell with 11-4 record. Russell at the Mandan Invitational, placing second and 5th at the Linton Holiday Tournament. Nice double leg return for a 2-point takedown. Now he's up 5-0. Has pinning combination, walks it around. Anderson now giving up near fall. Schumacher has it locked in tight. Anderson, right shoulder up, not by much. Referees down, officials down, taking a look at it. And winner by fall is Daniel Schumacher over Drew Anderson.
Winner by fall, Daniel Schumacher.
All right, going to 215. Trent Metzen and Shane Nitschke. Hey, Metzen, first year here back in wrestling. He's a senior. Got him back on the mat. Come out here taking on Shane Nitschke. Yeah, I love this stuff when you get these seniors back out here. Kind of that no regrets year. Trent wrestled up to like 3rd or 4th grade. with the Broncos, part of our dual team that we took up to Folkstall State. I think our dual team placed second that year. Not a stranger to wrestling, but he's taken off a few years. Big gap between Pee-wees and senior year. Back out here now at 215 pounds, wrestling state champ Shane Nitschke. Nitschke double legs up on Metzen. Metzen arm around the head. Now Nitschke takes him down to the mat. 2-point takedown. The wrestler is called out of bounds here. 55 seconds remaining in the first period. Get the score back up in our weights. Updated here. We are at 215 pounds in that first period. Trent Metzen going up against returning state champ Shane Nitschke at 215. And Metzen head down on the mat, warned for stalling. Taking some punishment on top now from Nitschke. Oh, Nitschke has crossface locked up, goes head to knee. Going to turn over Trent Metzen down to 15 seconds, and winner by fall is Shane Nitschke for South Border, but it's too little, too late for the Mustangs. That brings us to heavyweight. Years past, I've seen Coach Hoffman just forfeit this weight at the end of a duel. Looks like they're going to send out Cole Nitschke, wrestling Aiden Hinkle. Going to test the waters here. This Hoffman is something to put in the back of his mind for a duel later on in the season. Let's see how good our heavyweight is here. Cole Nitschke going out. I believe Cole is a freshman. We have our TV timeout here for Beck, so we're going to go step away, take our own timeout here from Lisbon High School Gymnasium. We'll return for our last match of the night here between Cole Nitschke and Aiden Hinkle.
It's from your community. Look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Here local.
All right, welcome back. YourLiveEvent.com. Just cut that commercial short. Last match of the night, Cole Nitschke, Aiden Hinkle. Nitschke right away. Double leg attempt. Has underhooks on Hinkle. Hinkle inside cradle locked up on Nitschke. Gonna try to press those elbows together. Nitschke's going to try to sit through Hinkle. Head in the hole. Going to try to run this over on Nitschke. A lot of effort by Hinkle, but no points. Going to burn those arms out. Now Nitschke's able to stand up on Hinkle. Down to minute 30 in this first period. Your Bank North scoreboard. Now an ankle pick attempt by Nitschke. You're going to dump down. Aiden Hinkle has Hinkle going to his back. Nitschke catches Hinkle. 2-point takedown for Cole Nitschke. The younger brother of Jace and Shane Nitschke. Down to 45 seconds. Hinkle stands up. Hinkle drug down to a knee on that Lisbon side of the mat. Down to 33 seconds. Farge in that. Cole Nitschke has Aiden Hinkle broke belly down. They get a restart back to the center. Oh, Cole Nitschke working armbar on Hinkle. Hinkle powers out of it, stretches that arm out. Down to 5 seconds. Hinkle looks up at the clock. Time runs out. There you are at heavyweight. Broncos up in this duel, 42-20, Bank North scoreboard. Broncos with 6 pins on the night. So Hinkle and Nitschke going at it. And Nitschke goes underneath of Hinkle. Hinkle, he uses that weight, does have a weight advantage over Cole Nitschke. Now locking up. Hinkle and Nitschke. See if Hinkle learns stuff and practices over Christmas vacation. Is sit in the chair and throw. Take a page from Eli Lyons here. He's going to do it. Doesn't get those hips turned. So Cole Nitschke goes up over the top of Aiden Hinkle, and he was going to win by fall for Cole Nitschke. He picks up a win by pin. So that's a 42-26 win for the Lisbon Broncos. We do have one post-lim. The Broncos, your final tonight, win 42-26.
Will be Amos Brammerman and Joseph Keller.
On your Bank North scoreboard, so Cole Nitschke, winner by fall over Aiden Hinkle. Your post-lim match, Aiden Hinkle, or excuse me, Amos Romerman going out there for the Broncos. Wrestlers working that south border side of the mat. Down to a minute 11 to go. Glaseman and Romerman. Both teams back in action tomorrow and Saturday at the Central Cass Letterman's Tournament. That's at the high school. Action tomorrow starts at 3 p.m. Nice tie crotch. 2-point takedown for Glaseman. Now down to 42 seconds in that first period. Romerman, little hip by sit through, gets those hips turned away for a 1-point escape. Romerman gets caught, has a headlock hooked up, but Glaseman rolls Romerman through for 2-point takedown. He's up 4-1. Not much Romerman could do once you threw that headlock unless he got those hips turned right away. Romerman looks like he's setting up a Granby. He's going to Granby roll through. Glaseman catches the arm. He was expecting it. Caught the arm of Romerman as he was rolling through. Time runs out with Glaseman leading 4-1. It's a post-lim match. Final match of the night between the Mustangs and the Broncos. This broadcast tonight, there are a number of sponsors. Our pregame show sponsored by Irie Insurance, Bank North with their scoreboard, Olson Accounting with their postgame show, and also Enbridge Energy for player of the game, and RDK Enterprises, precision player of the game. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for bringing you your broadcast. North Dakota Class B wrestling on the east side of the state. Broncos and the south border Mustangs. Lisbon Broncos picking up a 42-26 dual victory, taking that top spot. At least as far as the dual standings. These two will go head-to-head tomorrow, starting tomorrow at the Central Cass Letterman. So last year, that was another back-and-forth battle between the Mustangs and the Broncos. It came down to like the 215-pound match. Or South Border eventually won the Letterman's tournament. But it was back-and-forth battle between the Mustangs and the Broncos. Now Glaseman working underneath situation position. Now Romerman able to get those hips back down. on the mat. Has to work, come back to the head. He could fit a crossface, so take a step. Now he goes crossface. Has it hooked up. Glaseman stands up. It's a 4-2 lead for Glaseman. Down to 5 seconds. Time runs out. A minute 30 on the clock for a third period between Glaseman and Amos Romerman. We're going to decide this one. Nice level change. And a super duck by Glaseman. Catches Romerman flat-footed. Now Glaseman up 6-2. Has an armbar hooked up. Hit that super duck. Went right away into that armbar. A good chain wrestling for Glaseman. He's going to walk that around. Romerman in trouble. Glaseman has it sunk in. Now Romerman able to stretch that far arm out. Down to 54 seconds. At the conclusion of this match, we'll go into our post-game show. We'll then have our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, RDK Enterprises Precision Players of the Game, or Precision Play of the Game. Glaseman down to 30 seconds, still has a 6-2 lead over Romerman. Has legs turked. Still legs split in the back. Now Romerman able to step through, build his base. Trying to gain a head of steam, a score here at the end of this third period. Amos Romerman, tripod stand up. Still working on it, down to 10 seconds. Not able to clear his hips. Glaseman's going to let him go. Back to 5, 6-3 lead for Glaseman. Another level change. Romerman goes in. Glaseman throws him down. Time expires on the clock. That does it for tonight's action in this final post-lim match of the night. But on your Bankman North scoreboard, we have a final 42-26 Lisbon over the South Border Mustangs. We'll come back for our Olson County post-game show and then go through our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, RDK Enterprise Precision Play of the Game. Sports announcer guy Brent Dick with our camera girl tonight, Kira Mouse. Be back in 30 seconds.
With news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and RJBroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hey, welcome back. Lisbon High School Gymnasium. Watching YourLiveEvent.com. Duel tonight between the South Border Mustangs and Lisbon Broncos. Lisbon Broncos picking up that Class B dual victory here down in the Southeast region by a score of 42-26 over the South Border Mustangs. All I can say is holy cow for the Broncos as they came out tonight. Spit and nail shot out of a cannon, picking up the decision at 107 pounds for Lisbon, starting things out. Winner by decision was Ian Anderson, 2-1 over Ryland Vetter. So Anderson making a statement here down at 107 pounds, coming down from 114 for the Broncos, picking up that victory over Ryland Vetter. 2-1, puts the Broncos up 3-0 here in your Olson Accounting postgame show. And then 114 pounds, we had Cruz Ranke picking up a pin. First bonus point victory for the Broncos, first of 5 pins in a row over Schilling from South Border. So Cruz Ranke with that pin put the Broncos up by a score of 9-0. That was a first period pin by Cruz Ranke over Jared Schilling. at 121 pounds. Grayson Lyons finding his way into the lineup. Noah Anderson in the lineup tonight. Anderson making his descent down to, I believe, 121. So still working on that, but he took on Carter Glazeman. So Grayson Lyons with a pin, 2 in a row for the Broncos, puts them up 15-0. That was a second period pin for Grayson Lyons over Carter Glazeman at 121 pounds. Then Cashton Waitson taking on Brody Michelson. Back and forth battle in that first period. A lot of scramble positions in there, danger positions for Cashton Waitson. But he comes back in that second period and wins by fall over Brody Michelson. Puts the Broncos up by a score of 21-0. So the Broncos continue their pinning streak going into that 133 pounds here between Tristan Lepp and Ryan Eng. Eng bringing back that fire and spark here that he had back in 2022 to the Bronco lineup when he was a state runner-up for the Broncos at 106 pounds. Picks up a pin over Tristan Lepp in the third period. Puts the Broncos up 27-0, and there's no looking back for the Broncos after that. When Riker Vetter and Griffin Greenlee squared off at 139 pounds, it was a close match into that first period. Eventually, Greenlee takes control of it, kind of beats up on Riker Vetter, pinning him in the third period, puts Lisbon up by a score of 33-0. So 33 unanswered points by the Broncos, and put things out of reach for the Southport Mustangs. Going into 145 pounds, Carson Glazeman finally stops the pinning streak by the Broncos. He picks up a major decision victory over Jordan Dick. Dick in the lineup for the Broncos after that breakout season last year, and finding his way here at 145 pounds. Wins by a score of 10-2 for that major decision victory for Carson Glazeman. That was a 33-4 lead for the Broncos on that Bank North scoreboard. So Broncos are up 33-4 going into 152 pounds. When Blaze Ranke took the mat at 152, dropping down from 160, making that descent, taking on Brody Hoffman. So Ranke and Hoffman going at it. Ranke led 6-1 after the first period. Scoreless in the second, then picked up a third period pin over Brody Hoffman, puts the Broncos up for good, 39-4. With that pin, that's 6 in the match, or 6 in the duel for the Broncos. Picking up a pin at 152. Then Eli Lyons squared off against Cole Stock. Lyons looking for a little redemption last year after that region individual tournament. Cole Stock took control of that match in that third period. Lyons tries to throw. Stock takes him down to his back. So Cole Stock wins by major decision. 10-2 with another win by major decision. That's 2 of them now for Southborder at 45, now at 60. The Broncos up 39-8. Mike Nelson picks up a victory coming off an injury here in the second part of the season, starting things out right and winning ways for Mike Nelson. He's currently undefeated with 3-0 at 172 pounds. Now he wins 3-2 decision over Jace Nitschke. Puts the Broncos up 42-8, 189 pounds. Daniel Schumacher answers back here for the Southborder with another bonus point victory. So a lot of bonus point victories here to both sides. Lisbon with 6 pins on the night. Southborder with 2 major decisions, and now a pin for another bonus point victory. Close the gap a little bit for Southborder, kind of stop the bleeding. Put Southborder with a little momentum. Now up, Broncos are up 42-14 on our Bank North scoreboard. 215 pounds. Shane Nitschke, returning state champion, goes out against Trent Metzen. Takes him down at the end of the period, first period, puts him to his back for another pin for the Southborder Mustangs. Moves the score 42-20, still in favor of the Broncos. Takes us into heavyweight with Cole Nitschke. Looks like he barely, just made the minimum weight. Probably had to drink 5 gallons of water when he stepped up before he stepped on the scale, but he made the weight. Wrestled up here at heavyweight for Southborder Mustangs against Aiden Hinkle. Back and forth battle up until Nitschke took control of it, pins Aiden Hinkle. Moved the score up to 26 points for Southborder, but Lisbon with that victory, now 3-0 for the Southeast region, up 42-26. Lisbon looking to start off the second half of the season stronger than what they did the first half of the season. They finished that duel, or with Duel 7-3, 2-0 in the Southeast region. Now they're 3-0 in the Southeast region, 8-3 overall in duels with the victory tonight over the Southborder Mustangs. Southborder drops to 2-1 in the Southeast region as far as the duel standings, and 4-1 overall in duels. So Lisbon with the victory tonight, 42-26 over the South Border Mustangs. And one of those keys to victory for the Broncos, in both sides of whatever side of the mat you're on, is those bonus point victories. And somehow the Broncos just came out here on their home mat tonight and took it to the South Border Mustangs. Coach Lucina and Coach McCleary finding a way to get his Broncos motivated and spit nails out here tonight to take on those Mustangs, picking up 6 pins and then 2 wins by decision for the Lisbon Broncos for their 42 points on the night and their victory over South Border. So that is your Olson Accounting post-game show. Olson Accounting, if you need help with monthly accounting or payroll, let Cindy and her staff give you a hand. Rely on the friendly team of professionals at Olson Accounting. For your tax and accounting needs, go to colsoncpa.com. That's Olson Accounting, our post-game show. So we don't have a halftime here in wrestling like they do in college, so we have to go with our Olson Accounting our post-game show. The Broncos victorious 42-26. Now for your Enbridge Energy Player of the Game and RDK Enterprises Precision Plays of the Game. We'll step away, take a break, and then come back for our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game and RDK Enterprises Precision Play of the Game. Hey, welcome back. We're live, Lisbon High School Gymnasium. Sports announcer guy Brent Dick with our Olson Accounting post-game show here with our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. Life takes energy out of Enbridge. Energy for life. Enbridge.com for your career opportunities. And our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game goes out to Mike Nelson for the Lisbon Broncos. Mike picking up that victory tonight over Jay Snitchke. Nelson back in the lineup after coming off injury and solidifying those upper weights for Lisbon. Lisbon sorely missed the leadership of Nelson in that first half of the season. Broncos kind of struggling in some of those duels out at Frazee and then again against Velva. So Mike Nelson back in the lineup. He is your Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. Life takes energy from Enbridge, energy for life. Enbridge.com for your career opportunities. And your Precision Play of the Game sponsored by RDK Enterprises. That goes out to the Lisbon Broncos, all those bonus point victories. So picking up those 6 pins for the Broncos, starting out at 114 pounds with Cruz Ranke. There's 5 in a row. Grayson Lyons, Cashton Wadeson, Ryan Ang, Griffin Greenlee, and then Blaze Ranke. So 6 pins for the Lisbon Broncos. That is your RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game for the Lisbon Broncos, picking up those 6 pins in the duel, 5 in a row to start out this duel, starting at 114 pounds all the way up through 139. RDK Enterprises out of Hillsborough and Drayton. For precision planning updates, information, questions, contact RDK Enterprises Hillsborough and Drayton at 701-636-2119 or visit plannerdoc.com. That's RDK Enterprises. They're here to help you. Well, that wraps up our coverage for your duel tonight. North Dakota Class B boys wrestling on the east side of the state between the Lisbon Broncos, South Border Mustangs. Your final night, Lisbon wins 42-26 behind 6 pins from the Lisbon Broncos, 5 in a row, starting at 114 all the way up through 139 pounds. So that does it here. I'm sports announcer guy Brent Dick, yourliveevent.com. We'll see you next coverage at the Central Cass Letterman's Tournament on day number 2. So we're live back at Central Cass, probably around 8:45, somewhere between 8:45 and 9 o'clock. We'll go live for Central Cass Letterman's Tournament. Bring you day 2 coverage as far as wrestling. And then we do have a basketball game. We'll have basketball game coverage tomorrow night for the Lisbon Broncos here at home. And that coverage starts at approximately 7 p.m. tomorrow night for boys basketball here in Lisbon High School Gymnasium. And then day 2 coverage on Saturday of the Central Cass Letterman's Tournament. So once again, sports announcer guy Brent Dick, everybody have a good night.
A team of qualified insurance professionals celebrating over 40 years of service. As an experienced independent insurance agency, they have access to highly rated insurance companies and can shop around to find you an affordable solution for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. Visit them at one of their locations in Lisbon, Winter, or Rutland and get a free quote started today. For more information, go to nd-insure.com.